SBR Videos is sponsored by Sports Cash System. Click on the link below for more information.
Hello everyone, this is Across the Board with Jeff Grant here at SBRforum.com, taking an early look at Week 3 of the college football season, the opening lines. You can read my full article detailing the subject by going to SBRforum.com. Leading things off, TCU versus Texas Tech. TCU opened as 6-point road favorites. That number has fallen to 3.5 in the market. Both teams coming off victories against FCS opponents. The Horned Frogs will be led by backup quarterback Trevon Boykin, but he did manage to play in 9 games during the 2012 campaign. The Red Raiders had 14,915 students in their last game in Lubbock. First-year head coach Cliff Kingsbury being backed well by his alma mater. TCU has won 47 straight games when outrushing its opponent. Definitely a key statistic to look at when handicapping this contest. UCLA versus Nebraska. Nebraska opened as 4-point home favorites. That number has risen as high as 5.5. The Bruins have an extra week of preparation for this game after having a bye. They did manage to pick up a 58-20 victory over Nevada in Week 1. The Cornhuskers, led by quarterback Taylor Martinez, he has a 14-1 career record in games before the month of October. Nebraska, though, 2-5 against the spread in its last 7 games against Pac-12 conference opponents. Tennessee versus Oregon. Oregon opened up as 20-point home favorites, has shot up to 25 in the market. The Volunteers have won 12 consecutive non-conference games, 2-0 for the 3rd consecutive year. The Ducks have gained a combined 1,329 yards in their first 2 games. Tennessee 0-4 against the spread, last 4 games against Pac-12 conference opponents. The big game of the week, Alabama versus Texas A&M. Alabama opened up as 7-point road favorites. That number has gotten as high as 10 in the betting market. Alabama, of course, had a bye in Week 2, but picked up a 35-20 season-opening victory over Virginia Tech in Week 1, outgained by 6 yards in that contest. The Aggies picked up their 8th straight win last week, longest winning streak for the program since 1998. The Crimson Tide out to avenge a 29-24 setback as 13.5-point home favorites last year against the Aggies. Alabama 20-8 in its last 28 road games against the spread. Vanderbilt versus South Carolina. South Carolina opened as 11-point home favorites, 12.5 in the market now. The Commodores evened their record at 1-1 with a 38-3 victory over Austin Peay. Of course, they lost the season opener against Ole Miss. The Gamecocks had their 6-game winning streak snapped last week, suffering a 41-30 setback to the Georgia Bulldogs. South Carolina has won the last 4 meetings in this series, holding Vanderbilt's offense to an average of 218.2 yards per game. And finally, Wisconsin versus Arizona State. Arizona State opened as 4-point home favorites. That number is now 5.5 in the market. The Badgers have posted back-to-back shutouts to open the season for the first time since 1958. The Sun Devils opened up with a 55-0 blowout win over Sacramento State. And one thing to watch when handicapping the Sun Devils, one thing to be aware of is the fact that they have started out fast in the first quarter under Todd Graham since the start of last season, outscoring opponents 159-69, and ASU 6-1 straight up last 7 games against Big Ten conference opponents. Make sure to become a subscriber to SBR Forum's YouTube channel for the best information available during the entire 2013 college football campaign, and follow me on Twitter @JeffGrantSports.